Hi, and welcome to the video lecture, How to Learn and Play the Left Hand to Minuet 1, or Minuet in G major as it's sometimes called, by Johann Sebastian Bach. The notes of the left hand, how to figure them out. Well, the easiest way I think is to know what the four spaces are. You have four spaces here, 5 lines and 4 spaces in between. You've got A, C, E, and G. You can remember them with a little saying, all cows eat grass. So our top space here is G. Let's write that in, G. Then we're going to go down one note. Okay, what's the letter before G? We're going down, so we're kind of going backwards in the alphabet. This is going to be F. However, in the key signature, we have this sharp sign, which is going to make all the F's in this entire piece F sharp, unless otherwise noted. Now, the next note is not the note immediately below F. It's gone from this line down to this line. So we've skipped over the space note here. So it's not going to be E, it's going to be D. Moving down. Now we're back up to G again. And I'm not going to go into why I'm doing this, but we're just going to make this for simplicity, and actually because it's kind of better this way, we're going to make that into a quarter note. We're going to get rid of that dot, put the stem going down the way it ought to be. Now we have 3 quarter notes, G. Let's write that in. We're going to go down. This is a rather larger skip here, G, skipping 4 notes down to D. Then we have a skip of a 5th, or 5 notes, down to a lower G. The first 2 measures and the first 6 quarter notes is the best place to start learning this piece. So let's put a little bracket around it. We're going to practice and learn this part first. There are 6 quarter notes, so they have a very steady rhythm like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's take a look at the keyboard and see how we're going to play these notes. Here's our middle C, and below that, G. We'll put our thumb on G because our score, and let's go back to the score. Well, we really should do one other thing before we get to the keyboard, and that is talk about fingering. All right. As you'll notice, your hand has 4 fingers and a thumb. The thumb is number 1 on either hand. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, pinkies are number 5. So our 1 tells us that we're going to put our thumb on a G. Since we're going down only 1 note to F sharp, we can assume correctly that the next finger will be 2. And since we've skipped from F sharp down to D, we'll also skip a finger and go from 2 to 4. Now we're back up on G again. No need to change fingers. Let's put our 1 there. And this is a rather large skip. We might expect that we would put our 4th finger on this D since it's 4 notes lower than the G, but since we have such a long way to travel here, we're going to use our 2nd finger on D and come down here and put our 5th finger on G. Okay, let's play these first 6 notes on the keyboard. Here's our keyboard. Here's middle C. We're going to start below it with our thumb on G. First 6 notes. Okay, moving on to the next phrase that we're going to tackle. We're going to do almost measure 3 and 4. We're going to take measure 3 and most of measure 4, just this portion right here. We're going to start on G. We've got our F sharp. We're down 1 to E. We've got F sharp again. Our D. And we've got G and a low G down here. There's our notes. What will our fingers be? Well, we've had our thumb on number 1. We've had our thumb on G, I should say. So let's keep it there. Then going down 1, we'll use our next finger, 2. Going down again, 3. Back up, 2. A skip down to D. That gives us a 4. Then we're back up on G, our thumb again, and for this large octave leap, we'll have to use our pinky down here on the bottom. These two notes have dots over them. Optional, you can play them staccato if you like. That means to play the notes short, not fast, but short. So, we have our notes, we have our fingers, we have quarter notes and eighth notes. To count it, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. Our bar line tells us to start counting again. We have 3 beats in each measure from the time signature. It's over there, you can't see it. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. So we need to play these notes with the correct rhythm. We'll start on G. Then we have our 4/8 notes. Then we're back up to G and down to a low G. Can you see that low G? Yes, you can. Okay, good. So in rhythm, and once again. Okay, just to review, we've got our 6 quarter notes played like this. Immediately followed by our next phrase. And then we're going to move on. We've got 2 more eighth notes here, which go quickly into this quarter note down here on the next line. This note is D, D, C. That's what happens when you're left-handed, you know, you can't write or do anything right. And B. And it tells us to put our thumb here on D. Going down, we'll use our second finger. And this is 1 note further down, and we've got the 3 there letting us know. Then we have a couple of rests. So we're going to play this B, rest, rest, C, rest, rest, D, and this is a dotted half note, so we're going to hold it for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. And here comes, well, one of the most interesting spots here. We've got our low G down here. Let's see, I should be writing my notes up here in the middle. Let me go fix these and put C up there and D here. Get rid of them down here. We're going to go ahead and put our finger numbers in here. Now, you don't always have to put all this information on the page. But if you're new to this kind of thing and you're just learning, it's a good idea. Better to have too much information than not enough. So you've got a low G down here. Now we're skipping a note. So we're going to skip G, our next note there. You know, there's no note after G in the alphabet. You go to A after that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then A starts again. So we're skipping over our A. We know it's A because of all cows eat grass. Our next note here is a B. Now, since we had a skip here, we would expect that our fingering would be 5 and then skipping to a 3rd finger. However, there's a very good reason for using our 4th finger here. And it is so, I'll show you here in a minute. We're going to go 4, we're going to go up 1 more note to C, so that's going to be 3rd finger. We're going up 1 more note to our 2nd finger to D, and then we hit our repeat sign. Now, in some books, they just go ahead, instead of doing the repeat, they're just going to go on and write this all out again. But where we're going after that is right back to this first G. So as we're going up here, we want to have 1 more finger to reach up to the G right here. And that's why this fingering is the way it is. If it went 5, and what we'd expect would be a 3 here. If we went 3, 2, 1, then we'd have to jump with our thumb from here up to the G. And we would not be able to play those notes smoothly or connected. So we're going to be stretching our 5th finger and our 4th finger quite a bit here. Okay, hope you've got that in your head, and let's take a look down at the keyboard and see if we can play this. All right, so we'll start from the beginning. We've got our first 6 quarter notes. Practice that until you really know it. Then we're taking our next phrase, which had the quarter note and the 4/8 notes. And now the part that we just put into the book, where we put our thumb on D, We play 2/8 notes, D and C, and right into our next quarter note, which is B in measure 5. Rest, 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 2, 3. And here's this tricky part I was telling you about. You put your 5 on G, reach your 4 up to the B, then C, then D, and you've got your thumb here to get back to the beginning of the song again. Now, one thing we didn't talk about was the rhythm of that last little section. So let's take a look at our music again. And this time I will play on the keyboard while I kind of point to the score so you can at least hear and see what's going on. Rest, 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 rest. 1, 2, 3, 5. Stretch and back to the beginning. Rest, 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 rest. 2, 3. Second ending. Hope that helps.